Some Jamaicans are running away by taking the perilous route through Belize and other parts of Central America and Mexico to get to the United States of America. Good day. Thank you for joining me for the weekly Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast. This is the 67th episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. We love and do respond when you comment on the channel. Desmond Richards takes on the new rules for the ganja industry and says we mustn't again import the weed. Winnie Anderson Brown has one lesson on governors general. But before all of that, here's my commentary, frankly speaking. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Kamina Johnson-Smith, no less, was moved to comment on the latest action of Jamaicans making desperate, even deadly journeys to get into the United States illegally. We know of the cruise Marilla that has stopped taking Jamaican business, refusing to allow their actions to be part of the getaway route to America. We know that the government of Belize contemplated, at least, putting restrictions on travel from Jamaica to that country because it is being used as a runaway point. And we know that the Panamanian government and immigration authorities have got wise to Jamaicans using that country as part of the route to flee illegally to the US. Here's the Foreign Minister on what's happening on the Panamanian side.
I know some of you would have read in a particular publication this morning that the government of Panama and the US are taking steps to tighten patrol and movement through a particular routing, which they have identified as a route for illegal migrants. And we are trying to be proactive and bring to the attention of Jamaicans that this is not a good decision to take.
That's Kamina Johnson-Smith. It's sad that even at this time, 60 full years after political independence, Jamaicans, or some of us anyway, are so badly wanting to escape this rock that we put ourselves and family to the risk of sexual and other abuse and even death trying to get to America. Now, the trip costs are tied at $2,000 to $3,000 a pop, but people are paying for it. Never mind what it means for the Jamaican passport and the Jamaican image and confidence in Project Jamaica. The sad thing, too, is that this is not new. Perhaps the numbers today are greater, but Jamaicans have been making attempts at illegal entry to the US and even Canada for years on end. We have been paying money, buying visas, going through Bahamas, risking it on boats with Haitians, going to Florida, taking the Central America trek for years. Legally, Jamaicans have used other options and found multiple ways to get in and get their stay in America. As far back as the 1980s, Professor Carl Stone did a poll that showed that more than 60% of Jamaicans would migrate if they had a chance to do so. Many of our young people today do not hide the fact that they intend and wish to migrate within a few years or so, as soon as they get out of college or even high school. Frankly speaking, migration is not new for Jamaicans. Indeed, the foundations of the society are based on migration. The black majority population here supplanted the Taínos. We came from somewhere else, Africa. and in the post-slavery 20th century period, we sought to go everywhere to work and live in Panama and Cuba, all the while seeking better for ourselves and family. And then after the Second World War to the colonial so-called mother country. And then with better opportunities and information, we sought out Canada and the United States. And don't forget, even the Cayman Islands. Many of us, as is the case of Jamaica's economy as well, benefit from the remittances from family and loved ones working hard overseas, harder than they ever did or than we do here in Jamaica. Remittance makes up more than all the money coming from tourism in this country. Tourism, that big lead industry over which we make so much fuss. So, frankly speaking, the desperate journeys are perhaps a new phase and should wake us up to something still being very wrong with the Jamaican society. Now remember too that Jamaicans continue to be fed with some really flowery and often false sense and pictures of what's available in America. Then there's a television screen with all of that coming onto us and social media and its great output of misinformation. Those encourage the desperate journeys too, frankly speaking. Then there are some realities here. The crime, the corruption, the bad-mindedness in communities, the violence, the chaka-chaka, the do-as-you-like ramshackle. And when people look, they don't see that on their screens about decent, desirable countries. They see what cities in America look like and cities in Europe, and they don't look like downtown Kingston, Montego Bay, Linstead, Brownstown, Spanish Town. The concerns we must rather have is this. Is there anything happening now that will make Jamaica in 5, 10, or 15 years or more a desirable place to live? Frankly speaking, a place where the country will attract rather than repel. That's what we must seriously consider without our partisan lenses on. And I will come back to that matter in the next podcast, frankly speaking. Now, here's Desmond Richards, journalist and founder of Rebel Radio Jamaica.
One of the most important piece of news this week came from the Ministry of Industry, where he announced some changes to the rules governing the ganja industry. Well, what the minister announced will make it easier for the traditional ganja farmers in Jamaica to be part of the ganja industry. What obtained before the announcement, the rules prevented hundreds of the traditional ganja farmers from participating in the industry. Viewers and listeners should be aware that in Jamaica, the traditional ganja farmers, those who went to jail, those who have records on their name for possession of ganja and were beaten up. Those farmers, based on the existing rules, were left out. Now, I understand that the minister has changed the rules or has initiated plans to change the rules whereby the ganja farmers, can operate for 2 years without getting licensed and without having those strident rules. Now, why this news is important is that the ganja industry is one of the industry that can improve the lives of the ordinary Jamaican. This is a product that can be exported. This is a product that can contribute significantly to the GDP. This is a product that can make life easier for a whole lot of Jamaicans. Now, of course, there must be rules. But what we don't want Jamaica to import ganja. We don't want that. We want to export ganja.
That was Desmond Richards. And now, Winnie Anderson Brown, educator and health facilitator.
By now you know I wear many hats. Today I'm wearing my language educator hat. And what I'd like you to help me to do today is to correct an error that is in these wonderful books. And don't make that an issue. Let's just correct the error. I know what it is like to have an error in my own book that was published. So all we need to do is to do the corrections, and I'm asking for everyone's help. Now, on the inside cover of the book, you see the plural of Governor General. The plural of Governor General is Governors General. So please make sure that you cross out both words that you see there and make sure you put the words, write it out in pen, governors, leave a space, and then general. The plural of Governor General is Governors General. Please do that correction for me. Help your neighbors, help your friends. And teachers, when the students come to you with these books, please make sure that they know the plural of Governor General is Governors General. Thank you so much.
That's Winnie Anderson Brown, educator and health facilitator. Endgame. Ray Howell, a past president and trustee of the Jamaica Teachers Association and former chairman of TIP, Friendly Society, has been honored yet again, this time by the Edith Dalton High School, for which he was principal. Go for it, Ray. Now, some rafting activities have resumed at White River near Ocherius. But that can't be it. Is that it? Come on, TBD, go. And still in St. Anne, the Jamaican National Heritage Trust ought to tell us what's being done about Fantasy Beach at Priory and the land immediately east of it. That's across from Seville Heritage Park. No cover-up. No cover-up. Now, that's it for the 67th episode of the Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast. Please subscribe, like, and share. On behalf of Desmond Richards and Winnie Anderson Brown, I am Franklin McKnight. Until then.